Ladies and gentlemen, JD Vance arrived in Israel around 2 days ago. I was actually at an event in Jerusalem. I was supposed to hopefully meet Mike Huckabee. And guess what? JD Vance plopped in, shut down fucking Jerusalem, and stole Mike Huckabee away. So I didn't get to meet him or JD Vance. What I did get was sitting in a bus for an hour, stuck going up and down a hill because JD Vance closed all the streets. I still appreciate the vice president, but it has been kind of annoying. He also kind of shut down Tel Aviv yesterday. I'm Tyler the Traveling Clat, your favorite white colonizing Zionist prince, kicked out of 109 countries. Become part of the 109 Club by getting your merch down below the description at thetravelingclat.com. Now, JD Vance also in his time here visited the West Bank, and there's a lot of hullabaloo going on about Trump and the West Bank and Israel. I honestly haven't really tapped into much of it. I just saw some random off tweets. I'm getting the news update from my team right now. We're going to react to all this together and give you some analysis. Let's take a look.
West Bank, sorry,
yeah, go ahead. We'll do. Yeah.
The West Bank vote yesterday that took place while you were in the country.
Oh yeah, that was weird. I was sort of confused by that. Now I actually asked somebody about it, and they told me that it was a symbolic vote, some symbolic vote to recognize or a symbolic vote to annex the West Bank. I mean, what I would say to that is when I asked about it, somebody told me that it was a political stunt, that it had no practical significance. It was purely symbolic. I mean, look, if it was a political stunt, it was a very stupid political stunt, and I personally take some insult to it. The West Bank is not going to be annexed by Israel. The policy of the Trump administration is that the West Bank will not be annexed by Israel. That will continue to be our policy. And if people want to take symbolic votes, they can do that. But we certainly weren't happy about it. Thank you.
West Bank, sorry.
Yeah, go.
And the plot thickens, ladies and gentlemen. JD Vance on the Judea and Samaria sovereignty vote in the Knesset yesterday. So, if you guys remember, when Trump was being elected, the 13-hour stream that I did that night, I called it then, and I said, the official stance of the Trump administration all the way through is going to be anti-sovereignty in the West Bank for Jewish people, okay, anti-Israel sovereignty in the West Bank, and it is going to be eventually a two-state solution with the West Bank being a Palestinian state. I said it, I called it, I'm profoundly positive now that is going to be the official stance all the way to the end of the Trump administration. They are going to push us and box us into a two-state solution with Palestinian state on our border, and we will end up having to fight the Palestinian state that attacks us in the future, unfortunately. What is one way to go against this? It is to take sovereignty over the West Bank now, to ignore the threats of the United States of America. And I believe I did see, I think this is the tweet right here from Trump, saying Donald Trump on the possibility of Israel annexing the West Bank. It won't happen. It won't happen because I gave my word to the Arab countries, and you can't do that now. We have had great Arab support. Israel would lose all support from the United States if that happened. Here's the deal, okay? Here's the deal. We in Israel have to make a tough decision. Now, while I appreciate Donald Trump, I really do. I appreciate him a lot. The people of Israel want sovereignty over the West Bank. The people of Israel that also love Trump and support Trump, we refuse to live near a Palestinian state. If you want a Palestinian state, if the Arab nations want a Palestinian state to threaten their lives, they are welcome. In any of their 53 countries or 22 Arab countries, they are happy and more than welcome. They can be our guest to slice off a piece of land the size of the West Bank and open it up for Palestinian immigration. Palestinians have lost the right to self-determine in this land, in my opinion. There shall be no right to self-determine when you have chosen the path of violence and oppression and supremacy. That ship has sailed in my eyes. Now, whether it's forced upon us or not, I can already see the end point will not be peace between Palestine and Israel. Palestine will attack Israel, and Israel will have to occupy Palestine again. If that's what happens. Let's get the hard part done with now. Let's let Israel declare sovereignty over the West Bank. And this is the problem when our country, America or Israel, has sold itself out to America. People like to say that Israel controls America. It's quite honestly the opposite. Our politicians over the years have quite literally sold our country out to the United States of America to the point where the vice president of America can just come here and say what is and isn't going to happen. Even though the vast majority of the people in the Knesset are and it's not just the Knesset, overwhelmingly Israelis want sovereignty over the West Bank. That's where we're at today. Our country has been fully sold out to the United States of America. And again, all due respect to America, all due respect to Trump and to Vance, which I appreciate. I don't agree with them on this point. It's a stupid fucking point. No, Trump tells French reporter with a thick accent that he can't understand a word she's saying before telling her not to worry about the West Bank. Okay, let's take a look at this clip.
All right.
Yesterday, there was a vote at the Knesset on annexing the West Bank. Do you see it as a challenge to your peace efforts?
Could you say that louder, please?
Yes, yesterday there was a vote at the Knesset in Israel on annexing the West Bank. Do you see it as a challenge to your peace efforts?
Will you answer that, please? Because I cannot understand the words you're saying. Where are you from?
And this is the guy who gets to decide whether we get to declare sovereignty over the West Bank. This is the guy, man. No disrespect to Trump. I'm just making a joke, but Jesus, man.
Where are you from? You're from France. Beautiful accent, but we can't understand what you're saying. Huh?
She said a vote at the Knesset on the West Bank.
The West Bank is. Don't worry about the West Bank. Israel's not going to do anything with the West Bank. Okay? Don't worry about it. Is that your question? They're not going to do anything with the West Bank. Don't worry about it. Israel's doing very well. They're not going to do anything with it. Go ahead.
Listen, I really do hope somewhere deep down below it's part of a bigger plan to, undermine the bullshit Arab supremacy, and really there really isn't an idea of setting up a Palestinian state. I really hope. I just don't have a lot of faith because American politics and like Western rigidity on this two-state solution thing, it always comes back to the same point. All right, Trump, I will not allow Israel to annex the West Bank.
Did you promise leaders this week that you would not allow Israel to annex the West Bank? And is that something that you
I will not allow Israel to annex the West Bank. No, I will not allow it. It's not going to happen.
Did you speak with Netanyahu about this
Yeah,
directly?
but I'm not going to allow it. Whether I spoke to him or not, I did. But I'm not allowing Israel to annex the West Bank. There's been enough. It's time to stop now, okay? Yes,
I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. I mean, but I'm not. You see me. I'm not surprised because I called this out. I said that this was going to happen. I said this months ago. I knew that this was going to happen. All right, we got friend of the show, Yishai Fleisher. I was actually hanging with Yishai the other night. He's a fucking sweetheart. He really is such a sweetheart. If you guys don't follow, I don't even know if I'm following. I am following him. If you don't follow Yishai Fleisher, I don't know what the hell you're doing. I don't know what's wrong with you. One second. I want to give him a bigger shout out right now. Friend of the show, sweetheart. He gave me a nice compliment too the other day. He didn't recognize me at first when I went up to him to say hello. And then he was like, and then he asked me who I was. And I told him I'm the Clat. And he was like, oh, the Clat. And he was so friendly about it. I want you all right now in mass to go subscribe to Yishai. He's a mensch. He's a sweetheart. And he actually has so many good points. I listen to him on a regular basis. I really like to listen to what he has to say. He's very, very interesting. And he's got such a fresh perspective on so many things. Very, very big thinker. And I personally got to spend some time with him in Hebron not too long ago in the city that he is the spokesperson for. And he's just incredible. So I cannot say more good things about Yishai Fleisher. Highly recommend you guys subscribe to his channel right now. And let's take a look at what he had to say on I-24 yesterday.
Yishai Fleisher, the spokesperson from the Jewish community in Hebron. And Yishai, you heard from Mark Zell there. He said that this move was bad timing. But for proponents of Israeli sovereignty over the West Bank, is it worth offending U.S. officials and losing U.S. support by actually moving forward with a bill like this?
Yeah, I was a little surprised at J.D. Vance's tone and his choice of words. I would have said to him, this was not meant to offend you. This was not meant to really, it's not in conversation with you. The Jewish people have yearned to be sovereign in Judea and Samaria for a long time. We had a very tough war now. We want to come out with some victories from this war. We want to see more control. We want to push back on jihadism. We want to be sovereign in our land because of our history, because of our rights under international law, which actually the previous Trump administration recognized. So we're moving forward with that. And our Knesset, which is our democratically elected body, our parliament, took a step. It was really not, it was not timed to be in lockstep with the J.D. Vance visit. It had nothing to do with him. It had something to do with a will of a lot of people in Israel to be sovereign in Judea and Samaria. And it happened to be in his timing. And I was a little bit, I thought it was a kind of strange that he would say that it was personally offensive and that he would say it was stupid. I don't think that was the good choice of wordage. I don't think that was good language to use when dealing with a large swath of the Israeli public, which actually does want to see sovereignty in Judea and Samaria.
I couldn't agree more with Yishai Fleisher. Like I said, it's the popular position right now in Israel. It is not the pariah position where I kind of used to be a little bit before the war. I couldn't say that it was the popular position that people are ready to declare sovereignty of the West Bank, but we are ready. We're ready now. We don't want to live next to a Palestinian state, especially not there. We reject it. We refuse it. So I think the quicker we come to terms with that, the better for everyone at the table. But I also understand from the same perspective, and I don't want to be ignorant about this or offensive to, and I really want to reiterate again, I very much appreciate the Trump administration right now, and I appreciate the J.D. Vance and President Trump for what they have done. I'm not trying to be like a bootlicker here or kiss their ass. I'm just saying I am genuinely appreciative of what they did to get the hostages home. I really am. I just think that maybe there's a chance that something deeper is going on behind the scenes, and they just don't want Israel to fumble it, which I can understand. If it's predicated on the idea of setting up a Palestinian shop on our doorstep that threatens our lives, I'm vehemently against it. It will be a bad idea, and we will end up going back to war. And it will have been for nothing. So I hope there's something deeper. Let's see this other clip.
Actually, so, looking at these renderings, and it kind of got me thinking, he's likely going to go down as the greatest builder of this era, and you've been in on a lot of those meetings with him. Has, to your knowledge, has the subject of rebuilding the Holy Temple in Jerusalem come up?
It has not. No, it has not. I don't. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Actually, so, looking at...
Can we make a real quick rule? Please don't let Jake ask any more questions. Ever. He's done. No more questions, Jake. Habibi, I love you. Shabbat shalom. But I can't have you. I'm trying to press a bunch of, it's like there's a box and there's a bunch of leaks happening, and I'm trying to, I can't cover for you also, bro. Stop. Don't fucking ask dumb questions like that. Trump's not building the temple. Please. 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 With your stremel and your peot. Achi. Calm down. Please. Calm down. I can't have the literal stereotype asking questions of the literal stereotype as I'm trying to plug all these holes that are leaking. Sir, I can't cover for you also. Calm down. Fucking Jews, man. Why are my people like this? Go look how Yishai talks about the third temple. Don't ask questions like that, bro. Come on. With love, I say it, but come on. Let's get our shit together. We got to be a team. We got to be a well-oiled team here. I can't cover for you like this. Oh, wow. This is long. Whoa, this is long. All right, let's see. Hillel Fuld, who I believe I was standing next to the other night as well, and I didn't get a chance to say hi to him. I should follow him. Okay, let's see. You're giving us fucking hostages, all of them, Trump on Hamas. Not sure if you're following the latest news, but Trump did an interview with Time. It's a bit of an infuriating interview that makes Israel look pretty bad. In parallel, yesterday the Knesset voted in favor of sovereignty in Judea and Samaria. The opposition would have obviously voted against this, voted for it. Why? To embarrass the coalition, anything to hurt Bibi. They also voted for it because they understand that the vast majority of Israel is in favor of applying sovereignty there, like I've said before. But then, just a few hours ago, something very big and deeply disturbing happened. First of all, Vance went on the record saying that the vote was strange, stupid, and offended by it. Then a few hours later, Trump said it won't happen because I gave my word to the Arab countries. Israel would lose all support from the United States if it happened. Also, by the way, I call that bluff. That would not happen. Trump would not sever ties with Israel in any way, shape, or form if we were to declare sovereignty of the West Bank. Just so you understand, that wouldn't happen. It would be, the relationship would be tensed, but you would not lose support from America. In response, just a few minutes ago, the coalition announced that the sovereignty law passed yesterday regarding Judea and Samaria and Ma'ale Adunim will not be advanced until further notice. This is all deeply disturbing for multiple reasons. The internal politics in Israel has gotten to a point that the opposition will vote for something against their own policy as long as it embarrasses Bibi and his government. The anti-Bibi movement is kicking into high gear now that the hostages are home and Bibi is gaining popularity. And it worked. They got the best friend we ever had in the White House to threaten that he'll pull all support. Good going, guys. Hope you're proud. Anything to bring Bibi down, even if it means bringing the whole country down. The fact that Vance would say something like that, that is an internal decision in Israel offends him, say what? This is deeply worrying. The fact that Trump can even say the words they'd lose all U.S. support is insane. Truly insane. The PM office just put out a statement this second. The Knesset vote on annexation was a deliberate political provocation by the opposition to sow discord during Vice President J.D. Vance's visit to Israel. The two bills were sponsored by opposition members of the Knesset. The Likud party and the Religious Party did not vote for these bills except for one disgruntled Likud member who was recently fired from the chairmanship of the Knesset committee. Without Likud support, these bills are unlikely to go anywhere. Here's the thing, and I'm watching my words here. The Trump administration is absolutely the most pro-Israel administration ever in the White House. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I have tremendous respect for administration, Ambassador Huckabee, Secretary Rubio, Jared Kushner, and many of the other senior members of the administration. They've done incredible things for Israel. For example, Trump expects Saudi Arabia to normalize ties with Israel and join the Abraham Accords by year's end. That's wild. The hostages are home. Wild. They've done a lot for us, no doubt. However, I'm concerned that one wrong move, the love affair could end. Let's be honest, Trump and his team are pro-America. If pro-Israel aligns with being pro-America, all good. When it's not, Israel's interest contradicts America. It won't end well for Israel. I actually don't. I don't agree with Hillel's assessment of this so much. Let's not forget that Qatar and Turkey are strong allies of the United States of America, and they're all but an enemy to states of Israel, but they're also enemies of the United States of America. Let's not get shit twisted. Turkey and Qatar are not strong allies of America. They are enemies of America and enemies of the core values of the American people. That's for sure. That is headed to a head-on collision. For example, Trump is very excited about this deal, as he should be. Part of the deal, according to the things he has said, is the expansion of the Abraham Accords. Now, imagine if Saudi Arabia says they'll only join the Accords if Israel recognizes a Palestinian state, which they have said a million times already. Israel would absolutely reject that, and Trump might pressure Israel with any and all resources, including an arms embargo, or him threatening not to veto decisions made in the UN, or maybe Trump not pushing back on the outrageous accusations against Israel by the ICJ. I'll say it again. The Trump administration are real friends to Israel. That being said, one wrong word, one wrong move, one internal decision that Trump doesn't like, and that friendship might very well come to an end or at very least become unstable. Look, I'm not going to finish this thing, but I don't agree with the assessment. First of all, this is predicated on the fact that this has somehow become a new a new position of the Trump administration. Like I said, during the election, this has always been their default position. We were always heading here, and a big part of this goes on to our shoulders. We, the Israelis, we, the Jews, we became an American state. America controls us. That is our fault. You cannot blame anybody else but us. America gonna do what America gonna do. And what America wants is to control the world, and that is fair. America is the arbiter of democracy and liberal rights and hopefully peace of the world. And it's trying to control many different places in the world. And we are one of the pawns in that game. And we have allowed our country to be bought out and sold out to the United States of America. A big part of it has to do as well with the fact that there's immense support for Israel in America, especially by American Jews as well. You can't deny the fact, though, that this has always been the default position of the Trump administration. Trump was always going to bring us to a point of a two-state solution. He's never veered off of that path, ever. He's never talked against it. He's never been pro-Jewish sovereignty in the West Bank, ever. It's always been heading here. And again, what's going to happen is almost exactly what Hillel said there. He's going to force us into a two-state solution. And I say this, again, with love for President Donald Trump. It's a massive mistake. It's a huge mistake. It is going to cause war and the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people. It will kill hundreds of thousands of people. For sure. It'll be a terrible war. And it'll be much more well-armed. You have not dealt with the Iranian threat, with the Islamic regime of Iran. You have not dealt with the Houthis. Hezbollah has not been dealt with. Hamas is not gone. All four proxies of the Islamic regime of Iran are there and alive and well. They're hurt, but they're alive. And the second you relinquish land to a Palestinian state, that becomes a nest, a hive. We will be attacked and we will have to fight back. And unfortunately, I predict that this time many more of us will die. We'll still come out on top. It'll just be a huge waste of time and money. A huge waste of time and money. And yes, I agree. I do think that Saudi Arabia will pull our hand into creating a Palestinian state. And I actually don't even think it's necessarily because Saudis are that excited about a Palestinian state either. And I don't think it's about them wanting to destabilize the region. I think it's just the ignorant default position, which is, again, it's the ignorant default position of most of the Arab states at the moment. And if we would have done something different 30 years ago to not have American control over us, we probably also wouldn't have an Abraham Accords. So it's, and I'm not saying this in a position of, we're just fucked. We live in a region where we're fucked. Our hand has been fucked. The one silver lining to all this is I can promise you we're going to be okay in the end. I do promise you we'll still be here on the other side. It's just fucked. Friend of the show, Emily Schrader, says, for the record, spitting on Israel's sovereignty, especially when it's not your people dying as a result, is not allyship or support. I agree. I agree overall. I agree. I don't think J.D. Vance should talk about our country and our internal politics in the way that he does. But also from the same perspective, our government and our country has been sold out to the United States of America. It's true. That is a reality. We have to make a decision as Israelis now. And I would even say as global Jews, okay, we really have to decide what is our purpose and what are we heading towards? What do we want for ourselves? We have to make that decision. And it's going to be riddled with very, very tough decisions and a lot of death and blood along the way. Unfortunately. I will see you guys in the next one. I love you long time. Goodbye, Klats.
Has this ever happened to you? Hey, are you a Zionist?
What is this hesitation? You think Judah the Maccabee was hesitating when he's fighting for Israel?
Here, take this.
Do you think Queen Esther hesitated before stopping Haman from ending the Jews of Persia?
Well,
hey, Habibi, you think Herzl thought he was a white colonizer as he Zionized the Jews of Europa? Listen, kid, I don't care if you're a Muslim, a Jew, or a Christian. You're a Zionist, right?
Yeah.
Well, a good Zionist goes to thetravelingclad.com and buys some provocative merchandise.
They do?
Absolutely, a pinch of I have some incredible designs for you, Yellen. They say everything promised to you 3,000 years ago. Here, take a shirt with a matching hat. For you, good price. They say they kick you from 109 countries. Here, join the 109 club. Take shirt and matching hat. For you, good price. Habibi, you want to Zionize? Here, take shirt, matching hat. You like Kuba Selek shel Safta? Here, take shirt, matching hat. Take sticker, take hoodie, take, good price, take, good price, take, good price, take, good price, take.
Yossi, achi, he understand you, stop!
A good Zionist goes to thetravelingclad.com and buys merch. Yalla, Habibi, for you, good price. If you don't want to buy any merchandise, the best way to support me is by donating on Buy Me a Coffee, my PayPal, or becoming a member on my Patreon. Your support is very much needed and very much appreciated. Thank you.